Okay, today is April 18th, 2026. It's a Saturday. Second weekend of turkey season here in Virginia. Last weekend, unfortunately, I was sick and I couldn't go, and so this is my first time this year. I went this morning, I heard several turkeys somewhere across the swamp. Couldn't get them to come across, but I did have one on my side of the swamp that eventually worked its way in and I was able to harvest it. It's right here. I'll show you that a little bit later. It does have a 10-inch beard and just about a 1-inch spear spurs on it. But I did want to show you some of the things that I use for people who don't turkey hunt that much, to give you an idea of what I use. And there's lots of different ways of doing it, lots of different types of calls as well. But first of all, I use a Browning 12 gauge 3.5-inch shotgun. The shells that I use for that, you can use number 4s and number 5s. I like number 4s, 3.5-inch. I primarily use that because it patterns well in my gun. That's one thing you should check. Also, if you're going to turkey hunt, you gotta have a face mask and camouflage gloves. I also like to use a net. This netting when I'm sitting up against a tree, I would put the netting around me where I can lay my feet out. That way I can move my hands for the calls, or to be able to move the gun slightly without the turkey seeing me until I'm ready to shoot. I would say this is vital, especially today where I hunted. I was in an open field with a couple trees, and I was able to use this so I can move. Also, I think it's very important is a seat. Now this jacket that I have here does come with a seat, but these seats that come with it aren't the most comfortable thing in the world. So I like to bring this as well, especially if you think you're going to be sitting for quite a while. You don't want to be moving a whole lot. If turkey sees moving, he's gone. And then another thing I would say is important, and there's various decoys out there. This is a hen decoy that I use. Some people will use a hen decoy and a Jake gobbler decoy. I typically don't like to carry that much out there, so I just carry this one female decoy, and it seems to work very well. And also a bag like this is a great thing to throw all your equipment in and carry it out and bring it back in. Now for some of the calls that I use, the ones I like to use the most, actually, I like the slate call. I think this one probably, I seem to get more turkeys to respond to it than none. However, this morning, the turkeys seem to be more interested in my box call, which is a Lynch box call. And then I also use various mouth calls. Basically you put it in your mouth and you can call like that. In addition to that, some things that might come in handy when you're turkey hunting. I did not use them this morning, but sometimes if you don't hear anything, you want to see if anything's out there, an owl call is a great thing to use. In addition to that, a crow call. I had a lot of crows flying around today that were making a racket, and it was helping to keep the turkeys gobbling, so I knew where they were. Also, I don't use this very often, but these are called fighting purrs. I put these socks on to help keep the noise when I'm in when I'm walking around. But these are called fighting purrs, and I like them. If nothing else works, I've actually done this and it works. It's a last resort, but a buddy of mine one day, we called one in using it and we couldn't get him to come in, and we were able to harvest it. But yeah, so that's pretty much what I use. Maybe it'll help you. Maybe you're doing something that you're different than I am and it ain't working for you. You could try this. I will say though, when you're calling, this is from a guy that taught me how to turkey hunt. If a turkey responds to your call, don't keep calling. Let him work his way in. If you keep calling, he's going to stay where he is and just gobble, gobble, and gobble. So, in nature, they're waiting for the hens to come to him, and you're trying to convince him to come to you. And with this turkey, I have, in this video you're going to see, I do not call a whole lot. I did early a little bit, trying to get some turkeys across the swamp to come over, but once I had that one on my side, I think I might have called to him twice, two or three times, and that was it. And then he came right in. So anyway, I want to show you the turkey. Here he is. Like I said, he's got a 10-inch beard, pretty nice beard. The spurs are just about 1 inch. Yeah, he's a decent sized turkey. I don't know how much he weighs, but I'll show you what he looks like. That, and I'll show you his beard or his fan. Nice tail fan, and he was strutting a lot for me out there before I harvest him. So Okay, let's see what we got here. Pretty nice big. Knocked him out. So there's my stand. And what happened this morning was I had a bunch of turkeys. My house is over there. I had a bunch of turkeys across the swamp gobbling early. And then I was trying, it was the only ones I could hear, so I tried to get them to come over, and in the process of working them, I had a turkey gobble over there in that tree line, and it eventually worked its way. It went all the way around, didn't come across the field, it went all the way through the woods, came all the way around to here, and then I got him to gobble again right there. And it wasn't but a few more minutes, I saw him coming out of the woods, and he worked his way right on up, right up to here, and the decoy was right about where I'm standing. I shot him about 5 yards from the decoy. Yeah, at one point he was probably standing maybe 15 yards from me. This shot right here is probably 20, 25.